What's up, guys? We're back again with those pesky hate speech bill laws, and we're going to be talking about them today with Gripped Media's Ben Scallon. Obviously, the dude's an absolute legend. This one is going to be questioning Mrs. McEntee on the hate speech bill, like I said, guys. So hopefully you enjoy this one. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you all think. Hopefully this year they do not pass that bill, because everybody is going to jail. All the rappers that I love to see in Ireland, everyone, actors, everybody's going to go and get hit in some way, guys. You know, I was watching a video yesterday. It says that you break 20 government laws every single day, whether that be speeding or whatever the case may be, guys. The average Irish man breaks 20 laws a day. So it's basically everyone's guilty, and then they're just looking for ways to put people that they don't like in prison. So this one's going to be insane, guys. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you all think. Stay free. Much love to my Irish people. And let's go, man.
Minister, you've mentioned in the past that your public consultation on hate speech laws had several strands and workshops, some of which were positive, but you failed to mention that virtually all of these involved self-described activists and government-funded NGOs that have publicly campaigned for hate speech laws for years. So in what way is this credible? Are you not just effectively trying to launder false support for an unpopular policy?
What a question. And the answer to that question is 100% yes, guys. They're trying to just gather as much steam as possible so they can pass this BS law. But it ain't going to pass, guys, because everyone is going to vote against it. And let it be known, guys, one thing about Ireland I've really just, noticed living here my whole life. I know a lot of people think I'm foreign. I'm actually from Ireland. But, man, it's crazy, that we don't get to vote on any of this stuff. Shouldn't there be a vote? It shouldn't just be passed unanimously by the Dáil or the Senate or whatever. It shouldn't be passed. It should just be like, hey, we're doing this new idea, let the people vote. If I was in charge, that's what I would do. I wouldn't just pass stuff like a flipping Nazi dictator. That's crazy, man. Fascist, honestly. Craziness.
But you failed to mention that virtually all of these involved self-described activists and government-funded NGOs that have publicly campaigned for hate speech laws for years. So in what way is this credible? Are you not just effectively trying to launder false support for an unpopular policy?
What I've said before is that we had a number of different strands of a public consultation. There were 4 elements to it, one of which was self-selecting, so to speak, and the other 3 areas invited representatives from NGOs, from academics, and Garda Síochána, a broad spectrum of individuals, not just those who perhaps have advocated for legislation, but many other people. And
how many people did you bring that were on the right? How many conservative people did you ask? Probably not that many. Let's be real.
Advocated for legislation, but many other people. And the result of that, I suppose, is the legislation that we have here and now. As well as that, we passed...
Can we all agree, as every single men, women alike in Ireland, that this is the worst thing to ever happen to Ireland? It's literally the worst. The hate speech bill is literally the worst thing to ever happen to this entire country. Am I correct in saying that? Beautiful people, tell me.
The incitement to hatred or violence legislation through the Dáil with, I would say, 95% of support. That's all members in government benches.
95% support? Bro, that's not true. That's just a made-up statistic. That's just made up. And also, what'd she say here?
We passed the incitement to hatred or violence legislation through...
Okay, incitement to hatred in legislation, that's kind of, fair enough, but, the thing is, what's there, there's obviously laws to prevent you. If you threaten someone, you can actually go to jail for that. I didn't know that. But that's actually a jailable offense. Or at least they'll question you, hey, is this actually true? Or are you just expressing your freedom of speech? And most people would say, well, I'm just expressing myself, whatever. Right? Let's say you say it on a rap song or a pop song, right, in Ireland. But now it's if you say that, you jail. Bro, come on.
The Dáil with, I would say, 95% of support. That's all members in government benches, the vast majority of those in opposition. And that was, again, taking on board recommendations from the Joint Oireachtas Committee, where they would have themselves had an open consultation and engaged across a broad spectrum of individuals. So there's a huge amount of work has been done, and I have taken into consideration and actually made changes based on recommendations from representatives from right across the political spectrum, but right.
I'm calling cap on that, guys, which means lying. okay, to all my people watching this over the age of 30, because I mean, it's just ridiculous. She didn't take any accountability. She didn't ask anybody about it. She asked any regular person, like I just ask regular friends, left wing, whatever, conservative friends. I have a bunch of different friends where I live at in the countryside. They all think that it's BS. Everybody.
Across general spectrums.
But, I mean, of course, politicians are going to be of one view, but the whole controversy around this bill is that there seems to be a disconnect between the politicians and the general public, that, to my knowledge, your department hasn't provided any evidence that there's some public outcry for this, that there's a widespread belief across society and the general public that we need these laws.
Yeah, why didn't they ask me? Because I am on social media, I make a living from social media. Why didn't they ask social media representatives, people on the news? Why didn't they ask that? Why didn't they ask artists, rappers and songers and singwriters? Why didn't they ask those people of Ireland? Because these people are the people that it affects the most, because it is taking away your expression and freedom of speech, guys. Let's just be real. I'm not trying to over complicate things, but that's the truth, guys. They're asking people that it doesn't even affect. Ask the people that it actually affects, like myself, everybody else that's on the internet, you know?
It seems to be coming from politicians like yourself, NGOs that are paid by departments like your department, and what I'm trying to get at is that a
He's roasting now.
credible reflection of how the public feels?
What I would say is that there are many ways in which legislation is developed and evolves and is...
And that's a non-answer again. Why is it whenever Ben asks a question, they always give a non-answer? Why is that?
And subsequently enacted. We do not have hate crime legislation in this country. We're one of the few countries in the Western world that does not have hate crime legislation.
That's actually false, guys. That's actually a false narrative. So they're basically saying that because in different countries, like the US, they do have that, but it's actually a different one, because we don't have freedom of speech in our amendment. So it's actually different, guys. We don't have any freedom of speech here. It's really controlled. But now with this thing, it's going to be even more controlled. It's going to be the most controlled in the whole world, pretty much, or any Western country. You know, obviously we're not comparing it to like North Korea or something like that, but you know, it's still going to be proper controlled.
And we know from figures from the Gardaí, while it's not in statute, they are now starting to collect data that hate crime is on the increase of almost 30% in recent years. So I firmly believe, as do those who have engaged in this legislation, that it is necessary to send a very strong signal that those who target physically or verbally assault and obviously go to the extremes of incite hatred against other people, that there is a consequence at the
But
end.
there's already laws against assaulting people. Like if you punch somebody, hit somebody, you're gonna go to jail, like straight away, like that day, like within the next, whenever the police are called, the guards or whatever. Do you know, like there's already laws against that. They're just trying to put this in so you can't incite hatred or build up a community on the internet, you know, against certain people. Which, if someone said to me, oh, you're not Irish, which I get all the time, I don't care. I know my dad's Irish, I know I'm Irish. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't, to me, it's just like, you gotta know what you are. You gotta be steadfast in what you know about yourself, guys. Don't be just getting upset because of words like, oh, this guy said this about me. You know what I mean? I just, like, whatever, dude. This guy's a loser. You know what I mean? Like, look who's saying it, I would just say. Flipping losers, guys.
Which the extremes of incite hatred against other people, that there is a consequence at the end of the day, and this is something that we take very seriously. We're talking about protecting those who are most vulnerable in our society. So there are many ways in which legislation can transpire, and we have gone through quite a lengthy process to get to where we are today. In fact, over 4 years of engagement on this issue. So to suggest it's been rushed or that it's solely been driven by myself or any one individual is simply not the case.
All right, guys. Gonna have to call BS on that one. But anyways, I'll be honest with you guys. She said we're trying to protect the most vulnerable people in society, but the only people that are vulnerable in society are women and children. Men, no matter what, whatever, color, race, creed, or whatever, you know, nationality, everyone's the same, guys, as a man. And even then, guys, it's hard to protect yourself as a man unless you're some Navy SEAL trained combat type of guy. So I don't know what she means by protect people in society. It's just complete lies, man. Complete nonsense. Let me know what you all think, guys. I love you all. We're gonna stay over here on this side, you know, the right side. And I don't mean that as an irony, because I'm definitely not, you know, that side. But we are gonna be over here on the correct side of history, guys. Hope you stay with me. I love you guys all, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.